Good morning, students. Open to page number 32 in your book. Okay. Now, see, today we'll discuss about the methods involved in separation of mixtures. Okay. There are 12 types of method are included in your syllabus or in your book. Okay. Now, first of all, there are some methods. First method is hand picking. Second method is sieving. Third method is winnowing. Fourth is magnetic separation. Fifth one is sublimation. Sixth one is evaporation. Next, seventh, distillation. Then sedimentation and decantation. Then filtration, and the last one is centrifugation. Now, the another methods are fractional distillation and also some two immiscible liquids by separating funnels. Okay. Now, today we only discuss about the 4 or 5 methods in this class. So, methods involved in separation of mixture. Okay, method involves in separation of mixture. First of all, most of the time the substances that we see or use around us are not in their pure form. Okay, they are basically a mixture of two or more substances. Interestingly, mixtures tends to also come in different forms. Therefore, there are several types of separation techniques are involved. As for the need for separation, it is usually done to remove all the unwanted materials and obtain wanted or useful components. That's why we use the separation technique. Is this clear? Now, the first technique is hand picking. There are 3 processes. First one is principle, technique and example. First of all, we will start from example. Why? At first I give you some example, then you can better understand how to do this hand picking method. Okay, so you all know rice. Okay, you eat rice. Is this clear? Now, when your parents buy rice from the market, then some small amount of stones or small amount of undesirable particles are mixed into this rice. Then what happen if we eat this rice with stones? Then our teeth has broken. Is this clear? That's why we need to separate the stones from the rice. How? Now, this is the technique how to separate the undesirable particles from the desirable particles. See here, undesirable particles means here stone molecules. Okay, now some small stones, and desirable particles means what? Here rice. The undesirable components that differ from the desirable components in respect of shape, size and color is picked by hand and removed carefully. So first of all, you have taken the rice, the mixed with some small stones also present. That means you have taken some rice in a plate, and then use your hand, okay, and remove the stones carefully from the rice. This process is called hand picking. This is very simple process. Now we'll move to the another process. This is the sieving. Sieving means what? This is the another process, sievings. So sieving means it is done to separate. Sieving means, see, this is the image how to separate the some undesirable particles from desirable. This is the process. This is the image. Open to page number 33. Okay. Now, it is done to separate mixtures that contain substance mostly of different sizes. The mixture is passed through the pores of the sieve. All the smaller substances pass through easily, while the bigger components of the mixture are retained. That means what happened? Examples: the separation of fine wheat flour from bran, fine sand from coarse sand particles, etc. Okay, so technique is, what is the technique? Large sized particles are separated from smaller very fine particles by passing through the sieve. In homes, these sieves are also present in your home. Is this clear? In home, you also see women sieving grains to separate sand, bran, etc. Larger wheat particles stay above and smaller bran particles are sieved through the sieve. Builder used to separate coarse sand from fine sand particles. Jewelers use this technique to separate different variety of diamonds with different sizes. Okay, this is the sieving. Next process is Winnowing. Winnowing means what? Winnowing means this is also the interesting process. So first of all, before discussing this process, we want to know about the another process. This is not in your book. This another process is threshing. Threshing means what? This is nothing but this method is mostly done during the harvesting of crops. Normally the stalks of the wheat are dried once it is harvested. The grain is then separated from the stalks and then grounded into the flour by beating the dry stalks to shake off the dried grains. This is called the threshing. Okay. Now the next process is winnowing. Now we will discuss about the winnowing process. So what is the technique? Winnowing means what? First of all, see the example. Separation of wheat grains from the husk by farmers. Okay, this is the wheat grains and this is the husk. Is this clear? Okay, this is unwanted and this is the wanted. That means this is desirable and this is undesirable. Now, when the grains are collected from the process of threshing, it needs to be cleared out of husk, and it also you can say chaffs before it is turned into flour. Okay. Normally the separation of the mixture is carried out with the help of the wind or blowing air. That means here the presence of air, blowing air or wind is needed for this process. See this. See this image. See here, wind is also needed now. After stirring these things, then wind is also needed, or wind or also blowing air is needed for this process. Okay, the husks are blown away by the strong wind when the farmers drop the mixture from a certain height to the ground. That means here also height is important. Okay, the heavier grains are collected at one place. See, the heavier grains are collected at one. These are heavier one, and these are very lesser amount of. Okay, this is not heavier, this is very lighter husk. Okay, and wheat means this is heavier. Now you also understand, you should understand how to use this winnowing process and why. Okay, now next process is next process is magnetic separation. Okay, now magnetic separation means what? Magnetic separation means here, magnetic means what? Here magnet is also involved. See, principle. It is also based on the difference in magnetic and non-magnetic nature of particles of the mixture. Okay, now technique, we know that iron is also attracted by a magnet. Magnet is also attracted the iron, na? That means why? Because iron has a tendency to attract by a magnet. That's why this iron has some magnetic property. Is this clear? This behavior of iron towards magnet is the basic to separate iron from a mixture. In industries, impurity of irons in several substances is removed by the use of magnets. In many factories, scrap iron is separated from the heap of waste materials by using big electromagnet. So if you have taken some sand with some iron particles, okay, inside a plate, then you take one magnet that is not by some moderately strong magnet. Okay, moderately strong magnet. You take this moderately strong magnet and catch up inside this plate. Then what happened? All of the iron particles are attracted by this magnet. Okay, then all of the iron particles are comes out from this solid, from this sand, and then sand sands kept in this pot or in this plate, and then magnets has taken all of the magnets. Now we'll use this also separating process of the magnetic separation process. So what is the technique? When one substance in the mixture has some magnetic properties, then this method is quite useful. Strong magnets are commonly used to separate magnetic elements. Is this clear? This process we can say as a magnetic separation. Now today we only discuss about the 4 process. So 4 process means first is hand picking, second one is sieving, winnowing, and fourth one is magnetic separation. Next class we will discuss from sublimation. Okay, now see, your homework will be, you must be written in your copy, you must be write down all the answers of your copy. See this checkpoint. Is this clear? A and B. Okay, you must be write down all of the answers. Is this clear? Thank you.